Hello and welcome to the Transfer Portal CFB Gambling Show. The regular season is done. I kind of forgot what my record is. I'll pull it up. But we're in conference championship. The four of us together again. It's been weeks. It's been
months, I think.
Time. Yeah, it's been months. Actually, I don't know the last show we had all of us.
I think week 3.
Yeah. So, before we get into our picks and the picks from last week, an ad read from Andrewster.
Winning season has officially returned, and it's always here. College football, conference championship weekend, college basketball ramping up. You got the NHL, the NBA, everything you want. It's on MyBookie. There's plenty of opportunities to win at MyBookie. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or a first timer, MyBookie gets you the most for your money with a double deposit bonus up to $1,000. To claim your bonus, sign up and use promo code TRANSFER on your first deposit, and you'll instantly double your money with MyBookie. It's simple, first time bettors, they get a $100 deposit bonus. So now it's $200 if you put in $100. It's beautiful. Why would you not do it? You can use your funds to bet on as many individual games, contests, or props as you want. Bet on, team win totals. Maybe there's some out for some sports that we're unknowing of. Predict the national championship winner in any sport, especially college football. That's very prominent right now. Or use the MyBookie prop builder to give yourself the edge to secure the bag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Shout out MyBookie. Thanks for sponsoring. Yeah, so the regular season has come and gone. I'm going to miss it a lot. We are in conference championship week now. This entire show is just going to be us rolling down the conference championship lines. We're going to talk some FCS lines. But yeah, guys, how did we do last week?
I did pretty well in my singles and my lock parlay. That was not a good idea, nor was betting on Oklahoma a good idea. I mean, Oklahoma, man, 6-6 in your first year with Brent Venables. There's growing pains, and then there's this.
They looked good the first 3 weeks, I think, and then yikes.
When they touched Texas, man, or TCU, whichever one I think they played TCU first. That was bad. That was bad. Now it's just been downhill ever since. That's
and
not
when
a
they
good
played
football
Nebraska,
team.
we thought, oh, this is the same Oklahoma we've known for years, and it's like, no.
We knew it was the same Nebraska we've seen for years. That's for sure.
That never changes.
Yep, coaches can change, results can't.
Yeah, my parlay should have hit, but Oregon gave up the 24-0 run in the second half.
Oh, my parlay actually did hit. Forgot my parlay hit. That was awesome. That was huge.
My lock did hit, so I'm officially positive on the year, though.
My lock did not hit. That was tough. It was a tough one. I don't even remember what it was. It was UCLA, and Chip Kelly was a coward and didn't kick the field goal for it.
I was on you with pause. I was on that with you. Chip Kelly, man, you're playing freaking Cal. You're playing freaking Cal.
That was bad. That was real bad.
It was awful. But you know what? Now we got a new slate of games to win a lot of money on with MyBookie.
NHL, that was wrong. I'm going to Tally site to see what my final record was for the regular season. But I am struggling a bit. All right, here we go. Let's see. Drum roll, please. I think I was about even. I was 81, 79, and 3.
That's probably as close to even as you can get.
That's very even. And then my locks wound up going 8 and 5. So yeah, I mean, I'll take it. It wasn't negative. So yeah, let's get into the first game of the slate. Friday. I don't really think we have any talking points on Akron Buffalo, right?
Buffalo -11.
Yeah,
I do kind of like Buffalo there.
I think Buffalo's come out swinging to get bowl eligible because if they win this one, they're bowl eligible. So I think they come out and put it away early.
They're going to crush Akron, I think. Akron just came off a nice win. Akron 2.5 on the line though. My over bet there. So I might have to hedge it with Buffalo -11. Yeah, I like Buffalo there. I agree. And then that's a nice little palate cleanser before we get to the Conference USA Championship game. UTSA against North Texas. Andrewster, the North Texas fans were after you this week on the Twitter, calling you out. But I like UTSA in this spot. I think they're a much better team. I don't really have an official play. What's the number here?
I believe it's 8.5.
It's 8.5.
8.5.
UTSA -5 first half, which is what I'm smashing. This is the Andrewster redemption game right here.
Yeah. I like if I was confident enough in going against North Texas, I would definitely take UTSA. I can't after this last week. I can't.
Yeah,
No, you
8.5
can't do
is
that.
a
No,
weird
you can't
number.
let them win. You're letting them live rent free in your head, man. You gotta do
No,
this.
I picked UTSA to win on the podcast, but man, if North Texas having the backdoor cover would absolutely kill me.
That'd be tough.
That's why I do first
They're
half.
coming
There
for you.
really is no backdoor.
They're
I mean,
actually
if there's a last second field goal though.
Hey, shut up. We don't believe in negative vibes here, okay?
they're
Positive
showing your
vibes.
clip in the locker room. Actually, when they say that, when they say you're not top, they showed it in the locker room and said we got to cover against this
Yeah,
kid.
they have your face on a dartboard. They're just practicing.
You know what, man? If I'm motivation for them and they win, I deserve something.
That'd be huge for you.
Yeah, I need a ring. Give me a ring.
Yes,
Is there
USA
any
ring.
bowl game that ties Conference USA and Big Ten games ever?
No.
Like, damn it. Because if we had a North Texas versus Minnesota bowl game, oh man, you'd be cooked on the internet for days.
Nah, it would be Minnesota. I think it's gonna be Minnesota Syracuse from what I've seen. Which, if you watch that bowl game and you're not a fan of either of those teams, you have a
Pinstripe
problem.
Bowl?
What?
I'll
Pinstripe,
bet
yeah.
I'll bet the under on that game. That's what I'll do.
I wish I could go, but I have to work.
I'll bet the Syracuse team total under. That's for sure.
Yeah, that game's gonna be poopy stinky. Yeah, I think we're kind of all. This is probably gonna be a game that I'm gonna wind up watching and taking the over. It's at 69. I think both these teams put up points. Alcinani, the 35-year-old quarterback for the Mean Green, is pretty good, and Meep Nation has a great offense. I just could see
Rebounded spectacularly against UTEP last week.
Yeah, they did. That was a great rebound. UTSA was in one of my. I don't think they were in my parlay, but I'm in like a pool and I had them in a parlay or something, and I won like 300,000 points or whatever.
We need UTSA to look like how they did against Louisiana Tech and Rice, where they beat like Louisiana Tech 51-7. They beat Rice 41-7. They've got to come out strong against North Texas and show support for our guy Andrewster here.
I like that number 69. I think I'm gonna add that to my card officially because nice. And both these teams average over 400 yards on defense. They allow over 400 yards of defense. So it's a Conference USA championship game. You want points. So I'm gonna take the over there. Next up, the Pac-12 championship game. USC needs this to get in the playoff, in my opinion. I think if they lose, they're out, and somehow Ohio State will sneak in. But yeah, USC's 2.5 here against Utah. Utah beat them by 1 in the all-time James Draws USC What Happened video. Hopefully it doesn't happen to them again because I like this USC team. Of course, ESPN FPI is Utah has a 61% chance of winning. I think USC is just on a roll right now. I like the 2.5. I'll probably wind up sprinkling the money line and lay the wood with 145. But I like USC in the spot. I think that they're more motivated than Utah. Utah doesn't move the needle for me. They beat up on Colorado. Congrats. Cameron Rising hasn't been stellar. I just think USC.
America.
You're a little too excited for World Cup this Saturday.
Yeah, USC's been just a better team since that loss against Utah, and it's hard to beat a team twice. I think USC wins this one.
Yeah, I agree. I want 2.5. Cam Rising peaked at that game and has not been anywhere near the same since. That was Cam Rising's like the best moment of his career, and it's just been all downhill since. And I don't think he repeats it.
Yeah,
I still took Utah over 31.5 on their total. I don't have any real inch of who wins this game. I mean, for all we know, USA could win this game 45-35. But hey, as long as Utah gets that 35, so I care about Utah. They've gotten over 33 points in 3 of the last 4 games. When they last played USC, that was they scored 43 points. I still think that they can still put up a lot of points on the board. This total is at like 69 right now, I think it is, or 68. I still think Utah breaks that 32 mark.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things in this game is going to be who really steps up for Tavion Thomas being gone. He's not only injured, but he's also declaring for the draft. So that's going to be something to watch. Utah, Cam Rising, we've talked about it. He just hasn't looked good. And last week, I'm looking at Jaquindon Jackson for Utah had 10 rushes for 117 yards. Granted, this is Colorado, so you're going to see some inflated rushing stats.
Yeah, but USC can't defend the run either.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to get a grip of who's going to be like that next guy toting the rock for Utah, because if they're relying on Cam Rising's arm, it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at USC's like defense recently. They've allowed 45 to UCLA. That's expected. You allowed 27 to Notre Dame, which I would still take Utah's offense over Notre Dame's offense right now. You allowed 35 to Cal. You allowed 37 to Arizona. That defense still does not really make a whole lot of stops. I'm still fully confident that Utah's going to get points on this board.
I will say, yes, they're not great at stopping drives and forcing punts. They have, I believe, the best turnover differential in the country.
It's not close. But they have a gap of like 10. They have 20 thing, and next close team has 16.
They're not going to force 3 and outs, but they're going to force turnovers. And if you give USC free possessions, Caleb Williams, that's the Heisman right there. He's going to score touchdowns. Jordan Addison. That's just how it works with their defense.
I just think their offense is way too good for Utah to run with them. Utah will be able to move the ball. USC's defense isn't great, but the USC offense is so unbelievable right now. They're firing on all cylinders, and they want to prove in a national stage, they want to prove that they should be in the playoff, and I think that Caleb Williams is going to go off like he did against Notre Dame. It's a revenge game for them. They don't want to lose to Utah twice and kind of blow up the season.
You know what I will say? I'm just randomly scrolling Action and work looking at props in this game. Dalton Kincaid, anytime touchdown scores -125. I love that.
I mean, not great odds, but it's free money.
He went off against USC last time they played. And he has to get a touchdown in this game. If Utah scores a touchdown, it has to be from Dalton. Also, by the way, the fact that he wasn't on the Mackey Award finalist list, absolutely pitiful from the voters. Absolutely disgusting.
I didn't see that. He wasn't?
No, it was Mayor Bowers, which both of them deserved, and then Sam Laporta.
Really?
Someone from the Iowa offense. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Sam Laporta is a talented tight end. Dalton Kincaid is first or second in every major statistic, but among tight ends.
Laporta
has to be up there.
Has those stats because Spencer Peters could only hit him over the middle.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're on, but you know what, man? I'm not a voter, so I can't say anything. But I can because it sucked.
Yeah, that's annoying. All right, let's go to the best game of the. So now we're on Saturday, the most important noon game, the MAC championship, Toledo and Ohio. I'm looking forward to this game. Toledo's a 1.5 point favorite because Curtis Rourke is out. I'm assuming, right? He's not playing.
Yeah. He's done.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's I want to take Toledo here on the money line just because of DeQuan Finn, but he hasn't been himself since he's been hurt. I hate to say it. This is the MAC and Super Bowl, but I'm leaning the under in the MAC game.
Me and Dave have talked all year. If we ever take an under in a MACtion game, it's not us. We're going
to cover.
Man. And here we are in this championship.
But Ohio is a good defense for the MAC. They're ranked in the transfer portal poll. I believe they're number 24. Toledo's, they lost their last 2 games. They haven't looked good in Ohio. It's hard. It's a hard one for me. What do you guys have here?
I have the under.
Pass.
Yeah, this is that's terrifying that we both.
I have Ohio money line, so I just think that their defense is so good. DeQuan Finn has not been performing since he's been injured. No Curtis Rourke for the last few games for Ohio. They haven't really missed a beat. They've scored, I want to say, on Bowling Green they scored 38. On Ball State they scored 32, and I want to say that was the game he went down in. Bangura's
been a lot better since Curtis Rourke went down. The running back, he stepped up, and he's been really, really good for them, which is what they've needed because they were relying on Curtis Rourke a lot when he went down. Bangura's played a lot better. So I mean, I just my heart is with the Rockets, but I can't do it. I can't take the money line there. I'm going to stick with the under because, like we've been
Okay.
saying, they can't do anything on offense.
So I don't know if you guys know the stat. Ohio is undefeated against the spread in conference play.
Really, did not
How
know.
has that not been caught up to this point? That honestly feels like something that should have been known since like Maxson took
awesome.
over.
Because I mean, they really only started being favorites 3 games ago with Miami of Ohio. They were -2.5, won by 16.
Yeah, they really surprised me this year. I think I ended up winning 4 games.
Yeah, never forget when you faded them for FAU like week 0.
Yep. And then the entire gambling TikTok world went after me.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but
I wish I
I
knew. I wanted to Detroit.
love this Ohio team.
Yeah, they're a good squad. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the under though, just because not enough offensive firepower for me. And I know Toledo's defense isn't very good, but Ohio's gonna ground and pound the game, and I think they're gonna run the ball to death.
Yeah.
So
You know what favors you is that total opened up at 60.5 and it's already down to 55.
jeez.
So
Louise,
Vegas
look at
agrees with you.
that. Yeah, and the public. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go the other way now.
Now people are
I
gonna
don't
realize
like-
it's the MAC.
I don't like being with the public. All right. So simultaneously, make sure you got 2 TVs on for this. Then we have number 3 TCU taking on number 10 Kansas. TCU,
Kansas
State.
State, you mean?
Kansas State. I forgot.
It's the Jayhawks.
It's the Wild Hawks. Number 3 TCU against number 10 Kansas State. K-State, the Wildcats with the worst mascot in the entire world, Willie Wildcat. I do not like you. TCU's a 2.5 point favorite. The number in this game is, I want to say it's in the
2.5.
60?
2.5.
62.
The total, not the number. Sorry. 62 is
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
They combined for 66 last time they met.
Yeah. And TCU just
They had to come back in that game.
demolished Iowa State. So
But before that, their offense hadn't
Sputtered.
really been for 2 or
Yeah.
3 weeks.
their defense has been good. For
It's
them
still
to-
just fun. It feels like it doesn't matter who's that quarterback between Will Howard and Adrian Martinez. It feels like that K-State, they can always keep up with any team that they play. I am still taking TCU. It's essentially a money line, but I took a -0.5 first half. It just feels like the smart play. I just think after how they played against Iowa State last week, I think they're finally getting the offense back at tune. I think Quentin Johnson, I think he's been among the best. Hang on, is he playing or is he injured? I'm gonna sound like a complete bozo.
I'm not sure.
Believe he's playing. I can double check.
Every time.
I mean, it don't matter. I mean, all the receivers are good, anyways. I mean, Kendrick Miller is still among the best running backs in the country. I mean, did he make the Doak Walker finalist list? I mean, he should have,
No.
but
He did
Wait,
not.
who?
Kendrick Miller.
No. That was
Okay.
Corum, Chase Brown, Lowell, and Bijan.
Embarrassing. But like, I still think he's been among the best running backs in the country this year. I'm still taking TCU to at least lead, and it's in Arlington. It's essentially a home game for them.
Yeah, it is. This is where I've been telling people. I mean, obviously not the entire season, but as TCU was 10-0, 9-0, 10-0, 11-0, I was like, they're gonna go 12-0 and they're gonna lose in the Big 12 championship because it's hard to beat teams twice. And I hope I'm wrong because I got that future plus 3,000 to win the Natty for the Horned Frogs. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think it's gonna come down to like the last couple drives. I don't because I think if Kansas State wins, it's gonna be close. TCU wins close. I think TCU has the potential to blow them out as well. Kansas State doesn't have the potential to blow out TCU, but it's gonna be a close game.
As someone with a TCU to win the Big 12 championship, I'm staying far away from this one. I'm just hoping that hits.
You should
Hedge it.
you should
Hedge it.
hedge.
No.
It's not even if they were like big dogs or something, a plus 125. What am I gonna do for that? was a $10.
What was the odds preseason? Wasn't it like 1,200 or something like that?
Mine was 16.
1,600.
What'd you throw on it? 10?
$10, 10 to win 160.
Yeah, don't even hedge it then. Just let it rock.
I'd still do it. I'd probably bet at least 100 for nah, 100's too
100.
much.
And I'm winning like $70.
Yeah.
Hey, you win no matter what. Take your family out for a nice
Well,
dinner.
you might as well throw $10 on the K-State money line so you don't lose.
I think
50,
if
50.
I'm-
Do 50.
What I'll do is I'll do whatever it is till I still get 100 back. That's probably what I'll end up doing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a coward's way out, but
No,
That's what I
no, be proud of it.
no, hedging's a coward's way out. I can't believe I
No,
hedge.
No, I'd
winning
have-
is winning no
I'd
matter
absolutely
how
do
you
that.
do
No, look,
it.
in my household, hedging is a
If I
coward's
have-
way out. I'm not allowed to do
If
it.
I ever have like one of those like $10 to win 20,000, I'm not hedging.
And no, that you hedge.
Nah.
That's life changing money, man.
Nah, that's where you just take out a second mortgage, take out more student loans, do whatever. Say you're gonna get your master's or whatever, but then you hedge it. Okay, that's what you got to do in that situation.
I'm getting my master's at Bovada University. Just hoping
University. I'm currently enrolled at FanDuel State. My
DraftKings Tech.
my bookie community college. Yeah,
That's where
so
I'm at.
yeah, I'm gonna go with TCU in this. I have them in a parlay that I just
Like
caught in my head.
minus 25 money line. What you going?
I'm on the money line, but I'm gonna have it in a parlay that I'm gonna bring up. That I just
It
caught in my
is
head.
probably the safest bet to do.
So next up, yeah, let's talk about Valpo, New Mexico State. I'm completely kidding. We're not talking about that game.
Oh, come
Hey,
on.
shout out Jerry Kill's squad. I mean, honestly,
I hope
like-
I hope they win. They're gonna win. They should be Valpo.
Yeah.
true. I mean, is this a Jerry Kill legacy game? I mean, what is this?
Most definitely. I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of people are thinking that the waiver is going to go through if they beat Valpo. So that would mean that New Mexico State's in a bowl game. That's a legacy right there.
They should do New Mexico State, UConn bowl.
See, I feel like both teams have had such a
No.
good season. That would be almost a little demeaning.
It'd
It
be messed up.
is.
Like, you got to give them real opponents.
Yeah.
Where
I
they'll
saw-
get slaughtered by 24. But
I saw
still.
UConn. I was reading somebody from the Athletic wrote a whole article, and I want to see they have UConn playing.
Unless
they're gonna do the
UConn's bowl game is decided by a penalty shootout, then I will 1,000,000% take UConn.
UConn, Georgia Southern is this projected bowl, which I would like to watch.
That would be a fun game.
Ooh, UConn's defense against Van Treese. That's actually
Van
hang on, Van Treese, isn't he injured? I thought he was ruled out for the year or something.
No.
No, he's playing.
He
All
had
right,
like
fine.
400 yards last week, right?
Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay,
I'd be sad if he was hurt.
I've had too much to drink.
All right, Sun Belt Championship, Fun Belt Championship. It's a real shame they don't do the Maction Championship and the Fun Belt Championship on the same day. But Troy, 10-2 Troy, 8.5-point favorites against a 9-2 Coastal. JMU should be in this game. I should be boycotting this game, but I'm not. Grayson McCall not playing, out for the year. The Chanticleers have not looked good without Grayson McCall, and Troy's defense.
They got
doesn't
slaughtered
allow
by 40
anybody to
last
score.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a big under game for me. That number's at 55. That's crazy. This is a big under game.
Yeah, I agree.
Or 48.
with that.
It's 48, 55.
48.
Yeah, it's 48. But that's still way too high. I think Coastal probably puts at like 10 this game.
Yeah, Troy's gonna win like 21-10. That's exactly what I was thinking. Because Troy, their defense just swallows everybody up. It's crazy.
Their defense is so good.
Oh,
It makes
what did you say the number was? 50. It's at 48 now.
It's 48 and a half.
Yeah, I still think it's an under.
Yeah. Ignore that
Yeah.
idiot who said 55. I don't know who that was. but
Who said that?
Yeah, look, man, as big Grayson McCall fan here, this team sucks without him.
Friend of the portal.
What?
Friend of the portal.
Friend of the portal, Grayson McCall. He's a stellar quarterback, should be getting more NFL draft looks. Coastal sucks without him. They are not a good football team.
Unfortunately.
Troy also like there are games where Troy just like absolutely sucks on offense. That's my only worry with this. That's why I do like the under. That
Yeah.
spread being 8.5.
Yeah,
Like,
Coastal's not
too
going to
big.
outscore Troy, even with how bad Troy's offense can be at times.
well, the thing is, if it's a 17-10 game, that's a Coastal cover. And Troy could most definitely put up only 17. They've put up worse performances this
That's
year.
true. That's why I stay away from the spread. That's why I only went money line on this.
And
We said it
and
all
parlay?
year. Like even when Coastal was like 6-0, the constant talk about them was, man, Grayson is carrying this supporting cast because he lost everything. He is carrying these kids, and as soon as they lost him, it's been downhill.
Didn't they have like 3 game-winning drives while they
Yeah.
were undefeated? It was
Oh my God.
It's all him.
yeah, because they almost lost to Gardner Webb. Shout out the running Bulldogs.
I don't like that they changed their logo. It really upsets me, but
Yeah, unfortunately, without Grayson McCall, they play like cats. They don't play like dogs.
yeah, so I think that's a consensus under from us on this game. It's just it's hard to take like anything else because 8.5 is such a weird number. I think that's the second game as an 8.5 line. Yeah, the CUSA Championship is also 8.5, which that's a number that I tend to stay away from on the spread no matter what because it's just weird.
Yeah, because you could get a 28-20 and the 8.5 plus 8.5 covers, or you could get like a
Because not many games end in 9 points. Usually,
Yeah.
like 9 is a weird number as well. 8.5, you have to get 9, but how are you gonna get 9?
30 to 21.
Dude, even that,
Yeah, but how often are you gonna get 30?
Yeah, that's 3 field goals right there.
Like 16 is 7, maybe. You gotta get a lot of field goals at an 8.5 spread.
Or a safety.
Yeah, that's true. Troy could very well get a safety.
Yeah. What if it's one of those situations where they just tell the guy to run backwards, get a safety to let the clock run? Let's hope that doesn't happen for anybody with minus 8.5
Oh boy.
or plus 8.5, I should say.
All right.
Don't
So
you just
I'm
do it?
gonna
No, minus.
minus.
Yeah.
This game, huge New Year's 6 implications. Tulane, UCF. UCF beat Tulane earlier in the year. Tulane's a 4-point favorite at home. That's the fun part about the American Athletic title game is that the higher seed gets a home game for the championship game, which is kind of an edge.
This
The
really is
total
the
here,
worst conference in the
56.5.
group of 5. Fucking hate this bullshit.
Yeah, winner goes to the Cotton Bowl. I don't have a official play here yet because I'm very wary of this game. I don't love the 4. The numbers kind of I'm leaning the over, but what do you guys have?
It's hard to bet on a UCF team that just lost to Navy and struggled with USF. It's hard to bet on that team.
Because they had
It's also hard to bet on a Tulane team that lost to UCF by a touchdown only a couple weeks ago.
yeah, well, like how do you to UCF? How are you losing to Navy 17-14 and then only beating USF on a last second? Like
Nope.
39 points to USF.
Nope, they didn't win that game. In my
didn't
book, they
catch
didn't
the
win
ball.
that game. I know my
Look,
book
this
doesn't
is a
count.
gambling show. That won my parlay that catch. So it was a catch, and we're done with it.
It was a catch. Okay.
Thank you. I needed over 43.5 for that parlay to hit, and I got it the last second. So
I'm happy for you.
great catch. Go Golden Knights.
Friend of no context.
Yeah.
But yeah, UCF's just been very disappointing last few weeks. Tulane obviously coming off a massive win at Cincinnati being the big kicker because Nippert is a very tough place to play if you're an away team, and they're the first team to win there in a long time. Their first ranked win in a long time.
60 years, right?
I like Tulane to win. What?
It was like
It
60
was
years.
yeah, since the 80s. So I think it was in 84.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So the only thing that worries me is UCF has looked so bad the last few weeks. What tells you that this is just a week that's like, oh, yeah, they're back. This is UCF. This is a game they actually care about.
This is the John Reese Plumlee runs for a 200-yard show.
Yeah, like
Who
this
did
is
it
the
against them last game.
yeah. I
think
don't know. I'm
Tulane-
not touching this game.
As a cohesive unit, I think Tulane's a better put together football team. but they don't really have much of a wow.
They don't have the
factor.
star power. They don't have the
Yeah,
star power.
they don't have stars. Like John Reese Plumlee can take over a game. Isaiah Bowser could take over a game. Their defense stinks, but who does Tulane like? Pratt is
Ajay
a
Spears.
fine quarterback. Yeah, Spears is good, but I mean he had 130 yards against UCF on 8 carries in that last game, and a long of 70. So you take out the 70-yard rush, 7 carries for 60 yards is still good. But you only got 8 carries. So they threw the ball against UCF 39 times last game. They're gonna have to run the ball more because that's what USF did last week. They just ran the ball.
The issue
And
with, the
forced
issue with
turnovers.
Tulane that I said on a preview pod a couple weeks ago was they don't do anything great. That's what makes it so hard with them. And the games that they win, a lot of the games that they win this year, you honestly leave wondering yourself, were they even the better team? And there's really nothing about Tulane that I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan of these guys, because I'm not. I feel like whoever they play in the Cotton Bowl, they're gonna get absolutely smashed by 28.
Yeah, I'd probably say UCF has a better chance on a Cotton Bowl matchup than Tulane. But Tulane they're just like, how do I put this nicely? They're like those old Stanford teams that weren't impressive but beat you because they just played football. That's what this team does. But they need to run the ball to beat UCF, and they got to control John Reese Plumlee, which is easy enough to say, but can you actually do it? So this game is kind of Tulane had a great year, probably their best year as a program ever. What are they, 18 right now? Yeah, they're 18. Shout out to them, great year, but the AAC was down this year. Nobody really blew you out of the water. No one was fascinating to you.
It was the absolute worst conference I think I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah,
like teams that are in must-win situations, like they completely blew it. Like Houston, they wouldn't have made it in this game, but like they had a chance to still make it into this conference
they would
championship.
have had to have beaten Tulsa by a lot, and then
USF would have had to still
won.
pull it out.
If USF wins the tiebreaker, we actually looked it up this week. It goes to a composite of the rankings from the CFP voters. So whoever has a higher rank.
So yeah, it was total BS. The conference sucks. The teams suck. The offenses suck. I can't believe I actually put my blood pressure to watch those games this season.
I mean, I had fun watching the games.
I sure as hell did. As a fan of one of the AAC teams, as a former student to one of those teams, Christ above, I went to a game this year, and this dude that I sat next to said he was going to defecate in the equipment room after the game. That's how bad it's. That was more entertaining than anything I saw at a Houston game this year.
They'll be in a bowl game, though. We'll talk about that next week or whenever we do the bowl show. Yeah, the AAC championship game, no official plays from us. Just kind of watch the game, have fun watching it. Maybe
Just here
take
for the
some
vibes.
live, but it's just too. The numbers are not really. I don't love them.
The numbers and the teams are just I don't know. I don't do it yet.
All right, let's move on. We're gonna move on to what I'm calling, what everyone should be calling. It's Jake Haener legacy game, the Mountain West Championship, Fresno and Boise. Jake Haener came back. I thought Jake Haener was out for the year until I just threw on a Fresno game one random night a couple weeks ago, and he was back. I was like, oh, he's back. Great. And then Fresno started winning games again because they were awful without him.
Yeah, this is a weird game because Fresno without Haener is awful. Fresno with Haener is insane. And obviously, they have Haener.
He's incredible.
He's incredible. Boise State, kind of close to what Fresno State did, except without Jake Haener, it was just
better.
Hank Bachmeier
Just being
instead.
awful.
That team was awful. But this Boise State team's really stepped up over the last few weeks with Taylor Green at quarterback.
Taylor Green's very promising.
And he's gotten better each week, too.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's tough because I picked Boise State to win on the podcast. But the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm really just wanting to take Fresno and me wondering why on earth they are underdogs.
Well, it's because pre-show I called it the Jake Haener legacy game, and you were like, "Shit, it is." It's he's going to leave his mark here, and I think that I have Fresno money line in a parlay, but I think that I'm probably going to lean Fresno on the spread too. The number. No, I keep saying the number. I mean the total. The total is, I think it's in the 50s, right?
Yeah, I think it's in the
Four.
50s. It is
Or because
54.
Boise plays good defense, Fresno plays good defense for the most part. It's gonna be gonna be a very good game. I'm glad it's at 4 o'clock, so that everyone can watch
Especially
it.
with Caitlin
Well-
Jackson. He runs the ball a lot too.
Yeah, he does.
Dave, I don't know how many people are going to be tuning. I'm going to definitely have this game on. I don't know how many people are going to be watching this over the SEC.
I mean, Georgia's gonna be up by
I
like
forgot it's on at 4 o'clock as well. Yeah, I was gonna get to that next. It's true. I'll be watching it. I'll have it on the bar, hopefully.
I'll have 3
Maybe they
monitors
should have done this at
set
10
up. One of
o'clock.
them will. Maybe they should just have this on Friday night, move the MAC to Tuesday night.
The MAC game should have been on right now, so we could have like live streamed the MAC championship and
That would be fun.
done it at the same time. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna go Fresno +3 straight as well with the money line and a parlay, just because I think Jake Haener is gonna take over the game. Taylor Green will also be very, very good. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna, like I said, with the Big 12 championship game, I think it's gonna come down to the fourth quarter, and we'll see. Where does the Mountain West winner? Do they go to a certain bowl, or just does they kind of just like fluctuate?
Fluctuates.
I think it fluctuates unless they're the best. So
I know you get
obviously it's
a
not Boise
better
State here.
bowl, but
Yeah,
Sometimes
all the
I think
conference-
I've seen like Mountain West champs go to like famous potato bowl. To be
Nah,
honest.
no,
that's
the
just any
66 teams
Mountain
go
West
there.
team,
I
because
think they'll
last year was
probably-
Wyoming.
It's like the Poinsettia Bowl or whatever.
Or in no,
I don't think that's a bowl anymore.
it's-
I don't think so
it's
either.
not.
I don't think it's been a bowl in like 5 years.
Independence Bowl.
Oh, you know what is something to look out for the total? If you want to bet totals, it's gonna be 28 degrees in Boise. These boys from
Ooh.
Fresno, sunny Fresno, California, might get a little cold.
boys.
But Jake Haener's cold-blooded, so it won't matter for him.
Yeah.
That's our Mountain West championship talk. I've been waiting. I want to do this one last for the 4 o'clock game so we could bang out the last 3 Power 5 games in a row. LSU, Georgia, SEC championship game. LSU absolutely fumbled the bag, losing to a terrible Texas A&M team last week. Georgia's probably going to steamroll them now because I think LSU's kind of like, oh my God, we have to play Georgia now. We just lost to Texas A&M.
I know we're not doing locks. If we were, this is my lock.
We can do locks. We're gonna do locks.
I've
I just
got
said they weren't
locks.
required.
Are we doing locks, Matt?
Yeah, we'll do locks.
Okay, then I won't say a word.
All right.
Did I-
let's
did I already
lock
say my lock?
then.
No,
I
you
don't-
didn't.
Sweet, perfect. No, I did not.
So I'm just gonna I think that Georgia's gonna absolutely crush them. 17's a little bit big for my liking, so I'm not touching that number. I mean, I'm gonna take the under in this game, 51, because I don't think LSU's gonna score. I think LSU will play good defense. They let up 38 points to Texas A&M last week, which is not very good, but they have the potential to shut down teams. And I don't think Stetson Bennett's gonna have to do much in this game, so they could win this game 28-10. And you're way under that number. So I like the under in this game.
I feel like I've said it for 3 weeks straight now because I think I have, but I feel like again this is like the Oregon game, like the Kentucky game, where they're just Georgia's gonna get up really early and then just not really like they're not gonna let them score and they're just gonna run the ball out. Against Oregon, of course, they still scored like 50, but against everyone else, they didn't go crazy on offense. So I think LSU puts up 10 points here. Georgia gets maybe 28. But then even then, you're easily under. So I'm with you on the under too. A lot of unders here, which unders in CFP games or in championship games are normally good.
Yeah, I think I have the under in like almost every single one. I don't think we've gotten over yet.
Teams play a little tighter. Teams get tight. Offenses make mistakes.
Tight.
Yeah, I'll talk about this game when I get to my lock because I freaking love a play.
My guess is that it's the same thing we just talked about. So we'll get out of the.
I mean, I sent you my plays.
I didn't even look, honestly.
Wow, thanks. Spent a lot of time on those.
Well, because I figured that we're just gonna go down the entire board, so I didn't have to write anything down.
That's why I didn't
That's
send
fine. That's fine.
I read your text about your FCS. We're gonna get to that afterwards.
Thank you.
So I like that. I read that one. I just didn't read because I purposely didn't look at the plays because I knew we were gonna go down the whole board.
All right.
8 p.m. We're going to Lucas Oil Stadium. Number 2 Michigan Wolverines, 16.5-point favorites. It's already dropped a half point against the Purdue Spoilermakers. I think Jeff Brom. What's it? Jeff Brom? is his
Jeff
name?
Brom.
Yeah, Jeff Brom.
I almost said Matt Brom played for the Packers.
No,
Jeff-
no, that wasn't him. You're thinking of Brian Brom.
Brian Brom. Who's Matt Brom?
I don't think there's such thing as a Matt Brom.
I'm probably.
I feel like I've heard his name. I feel like he might work in.
There's definitely a person
Yeah,
named
Brom
Matt
out
Brom.
there, gotta be.
Yeah, but Jeff Brom is 3-0 against top 5 teams in his career. Maybe he'll make it 4-0 in the Big Ten championship game. Probably not. Yeah, so Michigan 16.5-point favorites. The total in this game is 52. I think that's probably where it should be at because I think Michigan's gonna be able to score at will. And I do think Purdue will put up some points. My play here is Purdue plus 17 just because I want chaos. And I think Purdue will keep it close for the first half at least because Michigan doesn't have good first halves. Last week, I mean, they blew out Ohio State. In the second half, their first half was fine. They just had a couple big plays and they got up. They don't have good first halves. Wait, what's Purdue first half?
Plus 9.5.
Yeah, it'd be plus 9.5.
I
Oh
might go there
no,
instead.
this is not boding well for me.
I might go there instead.
As someone who did read the bets, I know what Andrew's
Yeah.
like.
Oh, is he on Ohio State first half?
That'd be
Ohio
Because
State's
Ohio
spending
State's
their
not
week on the
playing in this
couch.
game, so
Oh, sorry, Michigan. Jesus Christ.
Come
Well,
on,
Chief,
boo.
if you're gonna spoil
staring-
it, man.
I'm
Like,
staring at the Ohio State logo right now because I'm looking
Come on,
at
Boo
the stats
Corrigan.
for the Ohio State Michigan game.
Okay, but
What-
over here, I like Purdue's offense. Michigan should be able to score pretty easily. Purdue's defense kind of sucks. I think Purdue at least keep up with them. They won't like go blow for blow, but they'll be able to get a drive down the field pretty much every time. Michigan's defense is good, but it's not as good as it was last year.
Yeah, it's fine.
And for the record, Matt Brom, you're of course thinking of the 2014 candidate for Ward 7 of the Bakersfield, California City Council. That's who-
Yes. Matt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was actually there for that. Yeah.
that
vote?
was a legendary election.
hey, you know what? I'm glad that we were able to shout out Brian Brom, Louisville legend, Packer legend.
Packer legend.
Never- I mean, he was.
I forgot you were all Packers fans.
Yeah, yeah.
You got smacked last week. All of
I
you.
remember, like,
They
I
always
was,
get smacked. They suck.
I was
Yeah.
watching. I was watching like a replay of that 2008 draft when they picked Brian Brom in that second round, and they literally thought he was going to be the franchise quarterback and that he was going to be starting over Aaron Rodgers eventually. Like, it's honestly some of the most comedic things. Like,
Hey, he had a good career for the Trinity Shamrocks.
he
in high
played
school.
somewhere in Canada. Like, I think he was a backup in Buffalo too, if I'm not
He
mistaken.
played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the Winnipeg Blue. Oh my God, Blue Bombers.
The Blue Bombers.
The Blue
Yeah.
Bombers.
Yeah, this is I'm just not going to touch this game for a lot of reasons. I'm just going to leave it at that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty understandable.
Thing about
I'm
Brian
looking
Brom,
for
he's actually the
plays.
offensive coordinator for Purdue in this game, so we should have shouted him out anyways.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Wow! Shout out Brian Brom. Is he Jeff Brom's son?
Believe brother.
Brother.
Yeah, I think he's his younger brother.
I don't think you get a lot of brother coaching trios.
Did not know that. He
Yeah,
must-
father son. That's definitely
Yeah,
One.
that happens a
That-
lot, but like brothers, I don't think it happens
37.
very often.
He was Western Kentucky's co-offensive coordinator for a season too, back in 2016.
14 years old. With him. Jeff Brom all time. This is the XFL. After he's just absolutely concussed.
all right. What's next?
We got
Final.
Clemson, North Carolina, in the Subway ACC Championship. This one's sponsored on the ESPN. Oh, I forgot the Dr. Pepper.
Subway is sponsoring this.
Yeah, the Subway ACC Championship now.
Why couldn't it have been somebody like Potbelly or Jersey Mike's? You know,
Clemson's minus 7.5. Both teams
I
coming
got
off
it at plus
bad loss.
at 9.
Yeah, it moved. I guess people are taking the Drake May train. Charlotte, North Carolina. You're gonna get a big turnout for both teams. 7.5. The total is 63.5. I'm on UNC here. I'm gonna buy it up to 8. Just because I don't think Clemson doesn't. I think DJ Ungalele is horrible. He's terrible. And Cade, I can't speak today. Jesus.
Cade Klubnik.
Hey, Klubnik.
Anything with an L, it's just.
Hey, it's
Cade
because we
Klubnik.
only take W's on this show.
Yeah, that's true. No L's. Cade Klubnik should be the starter. DJU is very bad. I think the Clemson defense is not very good. I think Drake May will have a very good game. I know the North Carolina defense stinks, but I think that them stinking and DJ stinking kind of counteracts the stinkiness to where there won't be a ton of points scored. And I think UNC
And
will
also
keep it
how
close.
porous that Clemson defense looked against South Carolina too. Not to mention.
If Spencer Rattler can slice and dice you, Drake May should be able to.
You know what? I can't touch this game because I have a bona fide freaking hatred of the UNC coaching staff, but I also don't think Clemson's good. So
You have a hatred towards UNC's coaching staff and towards Clemson's offense as a whole.
yeah,
That's
So,
fair.
so you hate this game.
yeah.
You want Miami in this game. Don't lie to me, Andrew. So get Miami in here.
I would rather inject boiling hot grease into my veins until I collapse than have Miami play football one more time this year.
Hey man, my Miami ACC championship bet, Miami to make the CFP is still alive. Don't I
Oh,
won't.
boy.
Hey, you know what? If
Really
enough
bad
teams
ball,
lose,
The bet hasn't been voided yet
Enough teams.
on
Damn.
Bovada. That is still alive.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I like UNC in this one. Their defense is really bad, but Drake May's gonna bounce back. He didn't even play bad last week.
nah. A lot
UNC
of people
didn't have anything to play for last week. Okay, like
No, they
give me-
definitely did. That's a
They
massive
wanted,
rivalry.
they wanted to win that
well,
game.
all right, fine. They wanted to, but like they were still in this game anyways.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the they don't have anything to play for argument when it's a massive rivalry game. They hate each other. You guys heard what Dave Darren said about UNC. They're elitists. You know, they talk bad about us behind backs to recruits. We want
Yeah.
to freaking blow them up.
Well, not
They're
not
They're
not
gonna
great
sound like they're a
blood there.
terrorist organization.
So I think those are all our plays for the conference championship game.
Yeah, I had UNC +9, like, and I didn't get penalized at all for it. I got it at -110.
When did you take it?
Literally like 30 minutes ago, like
Oh.
about 15 minutes before we
You're-
like when I
market
sent you my picks, that was when I took it.
You're a market mover.
Huh.
Yeah, it was all you.
You shifted the market 1.5 points.
Yeah, so I got 7.5 here on the draft.
Yeah. I see 7.5 on every book.
Whoo! You moved. You were the last pin to fall.
Sweet.
Just everything 1.5. Yeah. So those are our plays for. That's pretty much the entire board. Bowls will do that eventually, but we got the FCS playoffs.
Yeah.
This week. Andrewster's an FCS expert. He's got some plays, some thoughts for us.
All right. So before I say any of this, there are a total of 0 spreads out for the FCS playoffs. This is all purely hypothetical and my
Don't lie to me.
predictions.
There's one spread out.
Well, not for the playoffs though. That's Southern versus Jackson State. So, and which by the way, kind of leans Southern plus 17.5. Last time Jackson State was in
the-
this big of a game, they
Celebration.
put up an absolute dud against South Carolina State. The Celebration Bowl, indeed. So, one I freaking love. If you can find Weber State, this will probably come out Friday night or Saturday morning. If you can get Weber State, play at 2:00 in Bozeman, Montana. I would take Weber State +4 and better. This is a team that I think can win this game outright. They played in the regular season. If it wasn't for special teams mishaps, they could have won this game by 20. It was this, type of Weber State offensive performance, but you know what? They gave Montana State 8 points on safeties, and off of those 4 safety punt possessions, Montana State got 4 touchdowns. Stop the run. at least limit Tommy Mella, the quarterback who had 230 plus rushing yards last time they played, limit him to under like 180, 170. I know that's a big ask. Just do that. I like Weber State's rushing attack enough. I think Weber State can cover 4. They can win outright if you like the odds. Montana, North Dakota State. If North Dakota State is anywhere in the single digit as a favorite, which I would be pretty shocked at, just take that right now. Montana was down 24-3 against Southeastern Missouri State. Try saying that 10 times fast. They needed 2 kickoff return touchdowns, 1 kickoff and 1 punt return touchdown to get back into the game. And then they just kind of cruise with their defense in the second half. North Dakota State, people say they've been vulnerable all year. While that may be true, they are one of the most experienced teams in this playoff. Montana, they have some age, but man, this is just not the type of Montana team we've expected. North Dakota State, you can kind of say the same, but at the end of the day, I take coaching, I take talent. NDSU has NFL players. Montana really doesn't. I'll take the buys in if it's anything 9.5 or under. If it's 13.5, I wouldn't probably put a full unit on it, maybe a half, just to have a little bit more fun watching the game. I will be at that game, by the way. Shout out to Fargo Dome. And Richmond's Sacramento State. Sacramento State played a lot of close games this year. If you can get them under probably, and by they, I mean Richmond. If you can get Richmond at like 5 or 6 at plus, I would probably take that. I think they can win this game outright. Sacramento State has gotten by on the skin of their teeth a few times. If you stop Asher O'Hara from doing some weird athletic dive over, the entire line of scrimmage on the goal line, you probably can find a way to win this game. I think that, yes, they had a very impressive 11-0 season. I also do think we are kind of overrating them a tad. I would definitely take the likes of NDSU and SDSU and possibly Montana State ahead of them, but I also don't think they're all too great either. And if you want to have a little bit of fun, Gardner Webb, William and Mary over. I honestly don't care what the number is. Gardner Webb put up 52, I want to say, last week against a awful Eastern Kentucky team. William and Mary's better, but that's the only way you're going to really be able to stomach that game.
I wish I had some counter analysis for you, but I'm just going to tail everything.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I agree. Great analysis.
Thank you.
That's probably the best analysis we've had on the show all year.
Oh, one more. Furman, incarnate word over, whatever the freaking number. Lindsey Scott covers himself.
I know
Friend of
that
the
one.
portal. Friend of the
I
portal.
knew that one. I knew I had that bet.
Oh, the
I-
Furman.
Yeah.
The Paladins.
Paladins versus Incarnate, who's just been a freaking machine of getting guys up to the FBS. They got their head coach up to be Wazoo's offense coordinator, and obviously their quarterback up to be Wazoo's quarterback. Now it looks like their head coach is getting FBS looks. So they're going to have to get another guy in.
So, I mean, I wish I could counter analysis, but I love it. I wish I could bet on the FCS in New York, but they won't let me.
I wish
Well,
I
I
could
go to
do it
my bookie.
anywhere.
Yeah, so that is our FCS little tidbit. We'll probably do that again next week because I like that. I learned a lot. It was like I was at school again. So now the parlay corner. I got 2.
Oh,
I got names for them too. First one, get me the playoff parlay. Pretty simple. TCU money line, USC money line, plus 190. Then we got my dog lay. Maybe my last dog lay of the year. I don't know.
Where's Duke?
He's upstairs. There's been thunder here, so he's scared. UNC plus 11. Ohio plus 7.5. Purdue plus 22. Fresno State legacy game. Jake Hainer legacy game. Plus 135. 4 plays, plus 725. I'm in love with it. It's just juicy.
I
Yeah.
have a much less juicy parlay. And this is a throwback to the can't miss parlays that Andrew did when he was here regularly. I got a little can't miss parlay. Buffalo minus 450. UTSA minus 330. USC minus 145. That's where all of our odds come from. Georgia minus 1,000. Michigan minus 900. All that adds up to plus 285.
So I think you just copy and pasted my parlay that I posted in the chat earlier. Because I have literally the exact same thing, except I did not include USC in there. Like I got the Buffalo, I got UTSA, I got Troy, I got Georgia, and I got Michigan for plus 155.
Yeah, I basically
just-
swapped out Troy for USC for the better odds. That's basically what happened there.
So
So that means I have to take it because
you know what? You know
that's
what
the,
me
like-
and Matt did here? We technically have the exact same parlay because we both got the Trojans in it.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
True.
So as long as the 4 hit and one of the Trojan teams wins, hey, you know what? Maybe me and Matt we're gonna be double winners out of this.
Andrewster, any parlays, or we want to go to locks?
If there were FCS plays out, I'd probably have a parlay, but I really only like the Ohio money line and then my lock.
Yeah, very understandable. All right, I'm going to a lot. Do I do it?
Yes, fucking do it, coward.
So, Andrew, you do your lock first. I'm trying
All right.
to pick a one.
So talked about this game earlier, LSU, Georgia. I decided not to talk on it because I didn't realize we were actually going to do locks. Under 51, kind of the consensus here. Look, this game screams. Watch back that LSU Arkansas game. Arkansas was just not able to really move the ball. Neither was LSU. How is LSU going to be able to move that ball on Georgia? Georgia has an amazing defense. Now, I don't think Georgia is a very good offense. I think that they are overrated. They have good talent, but they are led by the most definition of mediocre quarterback to ever exist. He's good. He's fine. He's fast. That's about it. He's not a game changer. He's not a guy that wins you football games. He's a guy that doesn't lose you football games. Darnell Washington, Brock Bowers, two of the best tight ends in the country. They've got a lot of good offensive pieces, but LSU's got a lot of good defensive pieces. They got a lot of speed on that defense. They can keep up with a speedy quarterback like Stetson. Keep him in the pocket. Make sure he doesn't get anything with his legs. LSU, just don't let Georgia blow you out. Don't let them score more than 30 points. I don't expect anything more than 17 from LSU's offense. I don't trust Jaden Daniels against this talented of a defense. Just don't let them blow you out. That's all you got to do. Don't give up 30. It's not honestly that hard. Georgia Tech played stellar defense in a first half. Georgia freaking Tech. Kent State had good defense at times. Kent freaking State. Be better than
Mizzou
both of
did
them.
too.
You can. You should. Yeah, Mizzou also just has a great defense that not a lot of people talked about this year. LSU, just be fine. I'm not asking you to be otherworldly. I'm not asking you to win the football game. I know that's not happening. And if it does, freezing cold takes, here you go. But just don't let them blow you out, please.
How sick is it going to be when Stetson Bennett's at the Heisman show?
If he makes the Heisman show, I need to take the next flight to New York and have a sternly worded conversation with somebody. Absolutely
I'll get
disgraceful.
on the train and I'll FaceTime you in. Don't worry.
Thank
Caleb,
you.
CJ, and Stetson Bennett, baby.
Oh my gosh. Blake Corn's gonna worm his way in there.
JJ McCarthy.
He had he was 3 of 10 throwing 20+ yard passes.
Did you see that graphic that I think it was Fox did? It was here, let me find it.
It was Caleb, CJ, Max Duggan.
Yeah, it was CJ Stroud, total touchdown. It's all touchdown interception ratio. Nissan Heisman Watch entering today. CJ Stroud, Max Duggan, JJ McCarthy, Caleb Williams, Hendon Hooker.
One of those.
Oh Lord. I love JJ, but he's not a Heisman QB. And this guy goes, played better than Stroud today. I'm like, yeah, all right. Should have won the Heisman.
I don't even know if I would go that far.
I mean, he's not good, but I digress.
He hit open receivers. That's all you can ask
Yeah,
for.
He was
Congratulations.
better than Cade McNamara. That's the nice thing we say about him.
Cade McNamara, future Iowa quarterback, as much as that pains me to say.
Andrew Locke.
Oh boy, so this is gonna really cause a bad argument after what we discussed earlier, but I took Michigan minus 9.5 first half.
No.
Yes, and I think y'all are being a little bit disrespectful towards Michigan's defense. They've only allowed over 20 points twice this year. It was against Ohio State last week, and it was also against Maryland, who was honestly at the peak of their powers earlier this season. And I think you guys are overrating Purdue's offense just a little bit because, look, I said Purdue was going to finish second in the Big Ten West preseason. Andrew can vouch for me on that. But while they may have won the division, it was the absolute most disgusting, ugliest way humanly possible. Like, I said Purdue was a sleeper in this division, and they made it out to Indianapolis. I am not proud of this at all. I am not. And also, Purdue, like, they only put up 3 points against Iowa at home this year. They only put up 17 at home against Northwestern. They essentially only got 24 points against Wisconsin in garbage time this year. And I'm not exactly going to hold them high hopes for scoring 30 on Indiana. I am not a big believer of Purdue. Look, Charlie Jones is a great wide receiver. He really is. And Aiden O'Connell will be a great quarterback when he decides to be. And also think about this. Remember how fast Michigan played against Iowa in the first half last year in that Big Ten title game? I think Michigan's going to go into this game, and I think they're just going to blow Purdue out before it's even halftime.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I just don't. Michigan just hasn't had like good first halves. That's kind of like my only thought process behind it. Yeah,
and Purdue hasn't had very many full games.
As a proud Big Ten West Purdue Purdue to get to win the Big Ten one better. Those are my Boilermakers. I need you to stop disrespecting my Boilermakers.
You got the cash for picking them to win the Big Ten West. Like, what do you want more from them? You got the cash, and now it's like, as far as I'm concerned, if a team wins me money, bang, I'm done with you. All right, thank you so much for helping me pay for dinner. I got no use for you anymore.
Nah, I have a golfer that basically won me a pool that won me like $1,500 a few years ago. I bet on him like 5 times a year, even though it was terrible, just out of respect.
Was it at a major tournament?
It was at the U.S. Open. Ches Reavie randomly finished 7th.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Do I have a lock? Matt, do you have one?
I do. This
I
will
can't be the only one without one.
This will be the highest odds lock minus Andrewster's parlay last week. But of a single, the highest odds we have on a lock. I have a plus 230 lock. UNC's beating Clemson.
Oh,
it's a lock.
UNC's beating Clemson. I have not a doubt in my mind. Drake May's going to go out there and put on a show. UNC is beating Clemson.
Sheesh. That's the best lock of the year. All right. You know what? I'm going to go back to the well then. I'm declaring it a 5-star white whale play.
Jesus Christ.
5-star white whale play. Over 63 in UNC Clemson. Both these defenses stink. And they're going to be a lot of points. So, yeah. Put your eyes on that game. UNC wins 45-38. That'll get us there.
That's a lot of points.
You're asking a lot out of DJU.
Now he's gonna hold at halftime. K Klubnik's gonna run the offense.
You might need an extra quarter to get the 38.
No, shoot, what's his name? Their running back's actually really good.
Will
Oh,
Shipley.
Shipley?
Shipley's really good. So Shipley's gonna have 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, so he'll be fine.
I will say, Clemson's lost a decent amount of their receivers. I want to say one of them got hurt, Bo Collins, and then another Collins went to the transfer portal.
Yeah, but we could start for Clemson's wide receiver core, to be honest.
Hey, you know what? Dabo, hey, get me some gloves. I can be your newest slot receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you really want to play for Dabo and like know what practice is like under him?
I don't hate Dabo. I kind of like Dabo.
I will be the next Hunter Renfrow.
Ooh. Yeah. I am the next Hunter Renfrow.
Me and Hunter Renfrow built exactly the same. I can do
it. All right. On that note, that's our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We debuted a plus 230 lock. It's going to hit at Transfer Portal CFB on Twitter, Instagram. Like, subscribe on YouTube. Just push this out. let's win some money.